Hey guys, this is Vic from Grasping the Market and welcome to our market briefing. Today we gapped down uh, from the open and immediately pushed lower, making a strong continuation after the market on Tuesday settled back below the 29.45 area. That constitutes a strong daily one-time framing and a strong continuation back into the previous intermediate term range. As we pointed out yesterday, the weekly is now one time framing lower, but I think the more relevant aspect of this whole move is that now the monthly took the previous month low and we are balancing. I mean, we're in a balancing long-term market. In the near term, let's say the weekly time frame, I think that the likely destination is the low of the previous range. Notice that the gap we left today is quite big and it has the 100-day moving average right in the middle. So the fact that we gapped down and we didn't even probe, we just pushed lower and close and settle at the lows. Obviously, there's a strong thesis for continuation. Now, there is a word of concern there because in the last two sessions we have moved almost in a straight line with a gap in the middle and very little backing filling, as you will see in a second on the, well, you can see it here on the 30-minute. This includes the overnight sessions. You can see strong push, then a little bit of balancing, push, a little bit of balancing, and the push for today. So you see that there's no significant backing and filling, so that increases the odds that the market could be getting too short, and at some point we need to push a little bit before we can continue further down. I think that the odds are good that in the near future we will get a balancing. I mean, the market obviously moves this way, finding a place to conduct business. Once it finds it, the first thing we will see is a balancing, probably an overlapping session, and then the market will take it from there. So looking at the volume profile, you see that the open immediately pushed only 2 ticks above the open, and a very relevant gap. It was 13 handles, not close whatsoever. The overnight was around this area, the overnight low, and I think that was a colleague of mine took that trade. Immediately when you don't see the gap challenge, you push outside. You can use this reference as your protection. You go short, you place your stop somewhere above that, and you just monitor. That was a good trade. So you see that the singles and the selling tail left on A is quite big. And if you have a tail like this and a 13 handle gap, and those are for real, the chances are that you sell strongly, and that's exactly what happened through the session. You can see how the move all the way to 28.74, which is a very strong move. We had a multiple distribution profile, and obviously the focus for tomorrow will be on the lower distribution, specifically on the afternoon range. Any acceptance outside that range will denote change. Obviously, the most relevant change will be to the upside because acceptance above the L high at 28.9725 is likely closing this double distribution separation here, and that will denote change because at the same time it's above value from today. If we get acceptance within or below, or within increases the market is in a type of balance, but increases the odds that we will at least probe the low. Now, if you get acceptance below, that's continuation, and the next visible reference on the longer time frame is the low from the 28th of August, which sits at 28.5325, so around here. That's the next reference to the downside, with the likely destination 28.2125. So let's see, I have that reference marked down. Yeah, that's over there. So focus for tomorrow, value development relative to the lower distribution. Let's see If we pull back a little bit, pulling back and closing this double distribution signifies that the market is at least attempting to find balance. It doesn't signify that we will rally all the way up or reverse this dramatically. It could happen, anything can happen, because we can have news. Now, I would expect the market for tomorrow to be quite rotational and probably inside today's range, especially because on Friday we have the non-farm payrolls, which is expected to increase the volatility. So manage your risk wisely, focus on the big references, and be patient.